How's it, everyone? Welcome back to Sappers Unscripted. We just got some TMI from Casual right now, but anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, what a crazy weekend of URC rugby. I think now we are getting a very clear picture as to who's going to have home playoff games and who's somewhat qualified, and Lions have to fight in their last game to get into the playoffs. Some upsets in this round. So I think it's just a great round to discuss. So we're going to start off with my team, just because it's the easiest to talk about. What are you guys' thoughts on basically the whole game?
Well,
Bulls.
for the first 45 seconds of this, since we've started recording, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is TMI.
Too much information.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay. Well, first of all, everyone, just thank you for tuning in, and please remember to hit that subscribe button. I don't know if we've hit 1,000 by the time this video's come out. We're 3 away at this point of filming. We might hit 1,000 by the time this comes out. We don't know. But guys, thank you so much. We're literally right there. So if it hasn't hit 1,000 by the time this is out, guys, please just hit that subscribe button, get us to 1,000, and let's keep growing this channel, because this is a channel for all of you guys and the fans, etc. But now let's get into the rugby.
The only reason that Brett didn't know what TMI was is because he's 48 years old. You just got to remember that. Okay.
I look good for a 48-year-old.
Well, Casual, what was your thoughts on that Bulls game in general? Did you think the Bulls kind of let off again, or how did you think that game played out?
Not really. Maybe a little bit, but I think overall a banging performance. I think to put 56 points past Benetton, that had everything to play for. They were fired up for this game. Great performance, especially the first half. I think in the first half, the Bulls scored 5 tries. They secured their bonus point. They didn't necessarily secure the victory, but they had to do a disaster job to throw that victory away. At the start of the second half, we spoke on the group and we were like, is the Bulls going to do it again? Because they conceded 2 tries, right? But then obviously they just scored 2 tries again. And the only negative thing that the Bulls can really take from this game is conceding easy tries. Like, it felt almost easy for Benetton to score their tries, but overall, good performance, good victory, massive victory actually, which puts the Bulls, I think, in third place?
Mm-hmm. Second
place, which is absolutely massive going into their final week, playing against the Sharks. So,
yeah. Brett, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was actually at one point of the game I was thinking, oh, here we go again. I actually said it on the group. I said, here we go again. Bulls letting in too many tries. And after the game, the interviewers talking to Jake White summed it up perfectly. He asked that somebody in one of the fans asked Jake White, when will the Bulls put in an 80-minute performance? Because when they do, there's no team in World Rugby, Club World Rugby, that will beat the Bulls. And I completely agree, because there were some moments of brilliance, and then letting in 5 tries after scoring so many points it's levels of concern, but it's still a pool stay. It's still a round robin game, so it's fine. And I just want to give a special shout out to Mr. Creel. The Oak is putting up his hand. He's playing good rugby.
Yeah, no, for sure. A lot of those Bulls players are putting up their hands. It's just something I do agree with, in the sense that the defense cannot stay like this going into playoff games, because you will get found out by teams that are competent in their attack. I mean, Benetton are competent in their attack and put 30-odd points past us. So it's a dangerous thing you're playing at. You kind of relying so much on your attack, and then you're hoping that you kind of outscore your opponents. But sometimes your attack isn't going to be what you want it to be on the day. So the Bulls do have to fix their defense 1,000%. But like Casual pointed out, this is huge for the Bulls, and we'll talk about different results as we go on in the pod. But this puts the Bulls in second, with everyone having played the same games. And now this puts us in a position where we just cannot blow it against the Sharks. And that gives us a home quarterfinal. If we win the quarterfinal, it gives us a home semi-final. And that is massive, because somehow if we even win that semi, and let's say a Leinster plays a Munster in this other semi, and Leinster wins if they play it away, the final comes to Loftus because we'll be the next highest ranked team. So massive things to play for when we go to Durban. So
you have a big chance in finishing first because Munster's playing Ulster,
yeah,
and Ulster
that's a
just beat Leinster as well.
it's a big game. Obviously Leinster, we'll get into that game later, but still a massive performance from Ulster. But moving on, obviously Bulls put themselves in a great position. But we'll move on to your guys' team, the Stormers versus Connacht. Very impressed with the way, again, grinded out by the Stormers. May not have been pretty, but I think it was grinded out in a difficult away game against Connacht, who aren't easy to play, especially when you play them in Ireland. So, what are your guys? We'll start with Brett. What was your initial thoughts on that game as a whole?
Did we ask people to subscribe?
Yes.
Please subscribe,
We'll
guys.
just ask them again. So
Okay. Stormers game. I wasn't at no point of the game that I feel threatened. It wasn't a great performance, and yes, I can't see how teams can enjoy playing on those 4D pitches. It really, I see hot steppers slipping the whole time. What boots do you even wear on those fields? It's just, I don't like watching that. I like seeing grass go all over the place, mudslides, those type of things. It's just, I'm a bit too old school still for this. It wasn't, that irritated me a bit about the game. But enough about that. I think that Damien Willemse did well enough to keep Bundiaki at bay. He wasn't a threat at all. He did bounce Marty Libbok once that got man of the match, but it was almost like a deja vu from that World Cup game. But fortunately, they didn't score from that. So, yeah, I'm overall happy with the game. Good scrums. Stormers did well. I'm happy.
yeah, I don't think it's that bad of a performance as the scoreline would make it look, or people say. I think the big issue with the Stormers, and we've brought it up previously, Brett, is how clinical we are. We are not clinical enough. We had unforced errors. How many knock-ons did we have in their 22? A scrum 5 meters out, and we butcher it from there. You see, line-outs once again. And I don't want to name drop him the whole time, but it's Joseph Dweba. That's your baby. You are the guy that throws in the line-out.
Yes.
And the fact that we lose line-out so close to their try line, or in the middle of the field where we have a set play that we want to run, it just makes the whole game scrappy. The big issue I had is I felt at certain points we tried to keep the ball alive too much instead of just taking it into contact. Like we get over the game line and always try and look for an offload and just throw the desperation pass, and then we knock the ball. But overall, I was nervous. On the others, like at a certain point, I was like, we are not winning this game. But I felt we dominated most of it. But Connacht was just more clinical than us. At certain points, we defended very well on our own try line again, so which is good. But overall, I'm just happy we got the points. We secured our playoff game, and all of a sudden, it's gone from that. I said we made peace with we playing the Bulls in the quarters. Looks like we're either playing Glasgow or Leinster at the moment. Oh my word! But yeah, overall, just happy we've gone through. It is what it is.
Well, just like going into next week, obviously we'll do a proper preview, but are you nervous to play the Lions at the moment? Do you feel like the Lions offer something that could, challenge you guys? I know it's in Cape Town, and that's a different story, but I feel like the Lions are on a bit of a hot streak at the moment. Do you think it bothers US fans? Does it bother you? Are you worried, or are you naturally just feeling that you could easily get this over the line?
Let me say it like this. If we lost to Connacht, I would be stressed, right? Because the Lions have everything to play for. But now I can kind of kick my feet up and relax a bit more. But the thing is, when you play the Stormers in Cape Town, it's a different Stormers. You're not going to find the same Stormers that pitched up there at Connacht or at the Dragons to play here in Cape Town. We've got rest as well. It's not that we're playing next weekend. We're coming back, we're relaxing, and then the crowd will also be there. Like the crowd has to come in and go to the stadium because the Lions are used to playing in an empty stadium. Okay, they don't have that much support. Okay, so But the Lions look absolutely amazing, and we'll speak about the Lions game in a second, right? So, do I feel threatened by them? Maybe a tiny bit, but I'm not too stressed because we've already done our job. That's a terrible mindset to have, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I completely agree. Why is there a break? Why is there a week break before
The
next?
Champions Cup, if I'm correct. Is
Oh,
it? Yeah, Champions
okay.
and Challenge Cup. Yeah.
I was just making sure because I know my flight I'm flying on the Thursday, but it's not this Thursday. So I was thinking, why is there a break? So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no. Champions and Challenge Cup is the upcoming weekend, and then final round of URC is the following. So yeah, at least we get to watch the Sharks next week in a final, which is cool, and a great game, which we will preview of Toulouse versus Leinster. That's also a massive game. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll move on to the Lions, who shocked me. I'll be 100% honest. I thought Glasgow were definitely going to put up more of a challenge. I thought they were going to just sneak past the Lions, but the Lions absolutely proved me wrong. 44 points to 21. That is a statement win. And as much as it's at home for the Lions, it is a statement win. The Lions still have to beat the Stormers. In fact, I don't think they even have to. They don't have to win. I think they just need to bring. Don't they just need two? Because
They need
Benetton
1
and
point. They need 1 point considering, but Benetton and Edinburgh is playing
yes,
against each other, so they will initially need at least a draw to go through.
Yeah, I was thinking 2 points kind of makes them safe, but they'll definitely be playing for the win, obviously
Yes.
to try and get through. But if we talk about
I have
that
a question
performance,
before we talk about the game.
yeah,
Why is the Lions in ninth on the same amount of points as Edinburgh and Benetton, but their points difference is better than them?
I think it's got
Losses.
to do with head to head, or I don't know, it could be losses as well.
More losses.
That's silly. That's
Yeah,
very silly.
it's
It's
an
always been
interesting
that
one.
way. It's always been that way. If you lose more and your points difference is higher, it goes on losses first, then it goes on points difference. Points difference is to split the difference if they have the exact same amount of wins.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, looking at that performance, I think the Lions, no matter what happens for the rest of the season, I think they can hold their heads very high. In a season where no one really expected much from them, I feel like they are the biggest overachievers, or one of the biggest overachievers in the URC, considering the team they have, in the sense that they don't have established international players as of yet. I'm sure they will have in the future. But just what's your thoughts on that game, guys? We'll start off with casual or Brett. Brett, I see you want to say something.
Yeah,
Start with Brett.
I want to go first because I'm scared casual says what I want to say. So I was a bit iffy on a certain player to ever consider him in a box setup, even to be considered for the box. But when Helena Hamba walked onto that field, things happened. He was the difference between a win and a loss, and he was the difference between a narrow win and a bloody big win. So that performance from Nahamba probably cemented his spot in a Springbok call-up. I'm not saying that he's going to get any game time. I'm just saying he is now considered. He always was considered, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's now pretty much set in stone that he will make a Bok debut at some point of his life.
Yeah, he was magic when he came on. When he came on, the Lions were trailing by 6 points. 15 minutes later, they have scored 4 tries and absolutely blown Glasgow out of the water. They were trailing by 6 points and then led the game by 22 points after 15 minutes later or something.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. And it's not just, I know there was an interception try, but it wasn't just interception tries. This was beautiful rugby. It was scintillating running rugby. That try from JC Pretorius, absolutely insane. The first try to kind of set it all up. The try of Edwulf van der Merwe with the chip and chase, right? They had to all track back in the fence. Brilliant steal from the ground. Was it from Nahamba that stole the ball, right?
No. The outside centre stole the ball. I forget his name. It was the outside centre stole the ball from the ruck. I thought you meant out of Ryan's hands.
No, from the ruck. I think it's Namba they picked up on the loose ball there, and then Kwan Horn got it back, and Edward van der Merwe took it all the way. Like, that is brilliant. Like, the mindset to get back, defend, you're on the ropes, get that ball, and you go and score at the other end. It was just brilliant rugby. The Lions just played some of the best rugby that you will see in your life. I want to know what their running meters was, what their meters gain was on this field. It was wow. And yeah, Noamba, absolutely magic since he came on. And the big question for me is, Glasgow, Brett, are you more confident playing Glasgow now than playing the Bulls at Loftus?
Yes, Glasgow for me, I can't see if I'm watching this game specifically, I can't see how they got this far because they didn't add any value. They didn't add anything. Okay, I must say their scrums in that first half with Ollie Kevill was immense, and he is a proper contender to get himself back in that Scottish side because he's been scrumming well since he's come back from injury. So besides their scrum, I can't see them adding any threat because what's his name? Tuipolot. What's the 12's name?
Yeah, Tuipolot.
Yeah, so him also knocking balls, bit uncharacteristic from him, but I didn't see any threat from them at all, and I think that going forward, I'd much rather play against Glasgow. And I think this is Glasgow's end of the line for them. I can't see them coming back from this.
Yeah, look, I think Glasgow were definitely shocked in the sense that I don't think they expected that from the Lions in how well they were just going to blow them off the park, especially when Nohamba came on. But, like, if anyone, like, if you want to see one of the best tries you will ever see, please go and watch that try from JC Pretorius because that try, the amount of offload steps, it was just such good running rugby. And that's the kind of rugby you want to see. Obviously, we all love the contact, we all love the physicality, the scrums, whatever. But when it comes to like that loose play and to see rugby like that, it's really cool to see. But like just a quick thing on JC Pretorius. Are we thinking this could be like a new Quagga Smith mold? Or is this a bit too soon to say? Okay, go casual.
I was gonna say something, right? But then I thought, okay, but this is a great video for us to make in the near future. But I'm gonna spoil one of my calls. Bring JC Pretorius to the Stormers. We need a fetcher. That guy is elite. Okay, he's got a massive future. I think in 15-man rugby. He is kind of the mold of a Quagga Smith. I've always said, you guys know, bring Quagga to the Stormers. If you can't bring Quagga, just give me JC Pretorius. He's younger anyway. He comes from Cape Town. Give me JC.
Yeah, I actually agree. I would like to have him at the Stormers. There's actually a whole bunch of players I'd like at the Stormers.
Don't we all?
But yeah, Jay, I think it's maybe too soon to call.
That's fair.
But I do see your thought process in asking the question. So yes and no.
Yeah, like obviously it's way too soon. Yeah, like you can't really say he's only played a season in the URC. You can't really say, he's going to be the exact same type of impact player that Quagga Smith could be, or sorry, is definitely for the Springboks. So, yeah, I just think JC just needs to keep working at it because there's definitely signs of positivity there that can definitely benefit a Springbok side in the future. But, guys, we now unfortunately move on to our fellow fallen brothers, the Sharks. Guys, at this point, and obviously it wasn't a strengthened side, but it's still massively disappointing. I mean, come on. I mean, surely you show a bit more fight in your home ground against Cardiff. I mean, we'll start off with Brett. What was your thoughts on? Obviously, it was at the same time as the Stormers. So
Stormers, yes.
I was watching Stormers, but
yeah, I was also obviously watching Stormers, but I did watch the highlights this morning, and I did change the channel every now and then to watch some stuff, but. Besides all of that, the Sharks, for the people that don't know that live abroad, the Sharks have one of the strongest rugby academies in South Africa. It's if you go to the Sharks Academy as a student, you've kind of made it. And to tell me that they don't have the depth to take out Cardiff at home with their B side is absolutely ludicrous. And that I'm at that point now where I'm actually getting irritated with John Plumtree, irritated with the fact that, man, just change your game plan. No, man, it's getting embarrassing now as a South African supporter. So yeah, I have nothing to say about the game. It was horrible rugby, but they need to dig deep for their depth.
Brett, this has to be on the coaching, right? Because if you look at the Sharks, they've brought in so many new players, right? And all of them are like Springbok rugby players and stuff, but they didn't play this weekend. So if they didn't come in last at the start of the season, this will probably be somewhat a team that they could field during this whole season if they didn't make any signings.
Yeah.
Surely that's motivation enough for you to say, listen, okay, we are actually just behind guys that play international level. So you want to step up to the field, right? So they are talented players. What is the mindset and the vision of the coaching staff to actually set out a team and plays and stuff that still has you losing to Cardiff at home? I fully agree with you, but it's embarrassing. It is utterly embarrassing at this point. Like they've been doing decently, right? But you can't just focus on international players to win you games. Like a B side, as you said, the academy side should, even if they lose, that's fine. But you don't lose by 22 points against Cardiff. By the way, people, the reason I'm going off screen the whole time is my nose. Got a runny nose.
Yeah, it's flu season in South Africa, guys. It's gonna be like this for maybe a couple more weeks, and then we're good.
TMI.
TMI, yeah, TMI, casual. But I think this game now coming up, I think it's Friday night, if I'm not mistaken, in the Challenge Cup final, Sharks versus Gloucester. This has become, well, it's always been, but now even more so, a must win for the Sharks. If they want to get some kind of respect out of this season, you have to go out and win this final. Like, there is no negotiation. The big players need to step up. Leadership needs to step up, and it needs to be a performance that the Sharks can be proud of, and as well as South Africans as well, because I think Sharks have a lot to make up for to their own fans. Obviously, none of us are Sharks fans, but I can only imagine the pain of a Sharks fan at the moment, because I've been through the dark days with the Bulls. It's not nice. It really is not nice. So I understand. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
I know. Sorry. It's just sitting there. TMI.
TMI.
But I know the feeling, and I can only imagine these Sharks fans are absolutely livid. And listen,
I wonder
Sharks,
what Annette will say in the comment section on this one. Annette, how do you defend this? How do you defend it?
If you're a Sharks fan, please subscribe to the channel.
The thing that worries me is, like, imagine, like, this is the Sharks, because we have to play the Sharks in the last game of the season. And imagine we just rock up to Kings Park and they blow us out the water and they cost us everything. I swear, that's when you'll see, like, rage, Brevin. Like, I swear. But anyway,
no, you have
not
you
even
have
like
bury them.
not even emotional, just rage.
Remember, they'll most likely play their strongest team in the Challenge Cup, and then if they win that, they'll be too drunk to actually play you guys as a full
True
strength
story.
team. So you gotta prepare to play against the Sharks team that you just saw here.
Okay. Then I can somewhat remain calm, but I know the Bulls. I don't trust them fully just yet, because sometimes they've let me down.
But against the Lions, not against the Sharks. The Sharks are
so we are going to quickly run through the rest of the results, because all of us have important errands to run on this fine Sunday morning. So we're just going to quickly look here. Zebra versus Scarlets. Scarlets blow Zebra out the water. Anything you want to say on that? Yeah.
Predictable.
Munster just getting over the line against Edinburgh.
Brilliant game.
Awesome
Brilliant
game.
But I have to bring something up. Brett, no, you stay quiet, you sit down and you listen. Okay. I was speaking to someone and he said the ref was shocking, right? This guy was from Scotland, so obviously he's an Edinburgh supporter. And to be fair, the ref was shocking both ways. The TMO, did you guys see the try that was awarded for Edinburgh at the end?
No.
No.
Bro, there was a try awarded where you can see a grounding before the line, and then it goes over, and then you can clearly see the ball held up. And he's like, okay, there's the ball. I see the ball. Meanwhile, it's a guy's wrist on the ground. And he's like, I see the ball clearly grounded there. We have established that it was over the line. Try scored. I was like, it's the wrist tape on the guy's wrist. Awarded the try. He says, I can clearly see the ball. Pause the frame. Me and my dad sits there close to the screen and like, where the fuck is the ball? Like, this guy was deluded. Anyway. But
We
yeah,
apologize. This is not a channel where we swear on. We apologize to anybody that watched this now. And
we
thought-
follow the Chasing the Sun blueprint over here. Okay. But overall, a massive win for Munster. They got their bonus point as well. Edinburgh, they can hold their heads high. That was a scintillating performance, and in my opinion, they actually deserve to at least take away what they took away from the game. If not, they deserve to win the game. But yeah,
And remember, I said before the game that if there's going to be an upset, it could be Edinburgh beating Munster, and this was my call, and it almost happened. So good game of rugby. I obviously didn't watch it because I was playing at the same time that they were playing. So, but very happy that Munster got the win.
I just want a quick question for you guys. I know our stadiums aren't as empty as it looks on TV, right? Like for the Lions, everyone almost sits under the camera. So it looks like a empty stadium, yet there's still 6,000 to 7,000 people there, for example, right? Now, would it be effective if we did the same as what Edinburgh did? Like they always played at Murrayfield, and then they opened up the Hive, which is next to the stadium, that can take 8,000 people. Do you think that could be a thing that South Africa can consider, like the Lions, for instance?
Yeah.
In 2019, there was a Currie Cup season where every single union didn't play at stadiums. They played at club fields. Like I remember Cheetahs played Lions at Diggers, the club I used to play for. I think they should do games like that. If they like take a game to a Pirates or to a club field, or like in Stellenbosch, that the varsity field is perfect for that. And also it would look better for TV.
Yeah, like obviously, like people don't realize the camera is showing one side, and most, like for instance, South African unions or the teams know that they're not going to sell out the whole stadium. So what they actually do is sometimes they don't even put those tickets on
So
sale,
they're not on.
and they
yeah.
literally just put on sale the one side that's in the shade, which is the side where the camera is, so you don't even see the seats. So yes, and look, I'm not saying that there should be more fans in games, but at the same time, people don't realize where Ellis Park is in consideration to Joburg. Like, it's not the best place, to be honest. The stadium's well looked after, but just outside, it's like literally terrible. But I think you're onto something there, Casual. Like, I think we do need to kind of, and you'll create more of a vibe, especially if you put it into like a smaller stadium.
Just listen to the atmosphere of that Edinburgh crowd. It felt like you were watching a game with 50,000 people in there. That's the effect that it has.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can move on.
Yeah, well, next up was Ospreys versus Dragons. Ospreys winning at 26 points to 13. I think that's expected. Ospreys are a lot stronger.
Move on.
And then the game that I did watch yesterday and was very surprised by. But obviously there is consideration into this. But Ulster did go on and beat Leinster. Leinster did not have their main guys, obviously, but it's still a massive win for Ulster. What were your guys' thoughts on that? Like,
They still
obviously
have
it opens up a
three
lot.
Bogies.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying. Like, obviously there were players in that Leinster side that are, good, like international. They have played international before, have some respect on their name. But still, like, that is a massive win for Ulster. Like, we didn't see that coming. And we all thought, even with the B team, we thought Leinster would have enough. But like Brett said, are Ulster Leinster's bogey team? Because, that's just massive.
Did Ulster ask Leinster, listen, just give us this game? We have 3 Irish sides in the playoffs then, maybe. No. Let's not take anything away from Ulster. That was a good performance, a massive victory. Obviously, it's an Irish derby. Okay, so both teams want to win this game, but you can just I remember watching the first few minutes, and I was like, "Wow, this Ulster team has come out to play. They are aggressive. They just look like the dog has come out to play, and that is what they did. At the end, got it with a penalty kick, got the victory. Massive win for them. Takes them up into 6th. That's all that they can ask for.
Well, anything else you guys want to add, or are you ready to wrap it up?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm happy.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning again into Safa's Unscripted. We just are so grateful for the journey you guys have even taken us on, getting us to 1,000 subscribers. We are really grateful, and it's not a thing that you're just a subscriber to us, as some may think. We just really are so grateful for every single one of you that has subscribed, view our videos, give us a chance to talk about our opinions, and we love it when you guys share yours. So continue to flood the comments with banter, opinions, whatever it may be. We are here to listen to every single one of you as much as we can. And like I said, we're just so grateful. So to continue to subscribe, like, and just share your videos with your mates and family. We really appreciate it. But that is Safa's Unscripted out for today, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.
And considering I'm 48 years old, I'm reaching retirement. So this is my retirement plan. Yeah. So thank you.
Cheers.